Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Slcmof. I'm back again with another video, and in this one I want to talk about the Batman Return to Arkham Remaster, which drops on June 10th of this year, 2016, which allows you to re-experience Batman Arkham Asylum, published in 2009, as well as Batman Arkham City from 2011 in 1080p glory on next-generation consoles. I cannot wait for this game. Just recorded a ridiculously long commentary about the game because I'm just that excited for it. I'm just rambling on and on. Anyway, I want to talk about how this game pretty much confirms a future Arkham game, and I'll give a little bit of proof to explain why and evidence. Of course, it's all anecdotal at this point. And if you look at the modern trend of remasters, whether it be Uncharted, whether it be Final Fantasy, whether it be Halo, none of these remasters are created or published in the name of just having people feel nostalgic about playing the old games that they love. Of course, that is an aspect of it. They want you to go back and play Halo 1 and think back to the days on the original Xbox. At the same token, however, most of these remasters exist for the purpose of rejuvenating hype for a future game. If we look at Final Fantasy VII, which came out in 1997, and that's another thing to keep in mind. These Arkham games are not from, 1994. They are recent. They have no reason to remaster them other than to provide something more than fan service. A lot of people still have their 360s and PlayStation 3s. This is a way in which to rejuvenate hype for the Arkham franchise, which it is fair to say there have been a little bit of rough spots since 2013 with the Arkham games. Asylum and City, as far as I'm concerned, that was just smooth sailing for them. Great games, great reviews. The community overall was pretty happy. There's not really much to complain about with those games. Then you get into Arkham Origins, okay? So, that game was doomed to fail, absolutely. Different voice actors, made by a different developer, all these kind of things. And then you get into a whole spew of issues with the glitches in that game and the fact that, they tried to sell it as, Joker wasn't the main villain, and then he eventually was, and then there's some things people have, just some problems people have with those games. And then you get into Arkham Knight, which had a broken PC port. Not very good DLC Season Pass, which people felt betrayed by. So, the Arkham games by no means has a negative record or people view down on it pessimistically. Not at all. It's not like that. In fact, of a lot of game franchises right now, you see what EA's doing with FIFA and that kind of thing, and Activision with supply drops in Black Ops 3. WB Games is in pretty good standing with the Arkham community. They managed to get a lot of Arkham fans really hyped for a remaster, which, in essence, if you're really looking at it, from a pessimistic standpoint, it's just a copy and paste from an old game. Of course, there's a lot more than that. I suspect they're going to include some new things like Easter eggs and maybe even new side missions. Who knows? I'm sure there's going to be some additional stuff there besides just, a game. But even if it is just the game, that's still a 1080p remaster of Origins, Asylum City on next gen. The point is, these remasters are not created out of the kindness of the hearts of WB executives. They are not even created to, sell copies, because ultimately there is a bigger picture in mind for the Arkham franchise. As with Final Fantasy 15, how are they going to build hype for that game? It is going to be by bringing back old fans that played Final Fantasy 7, as a lot of people did, and having them be like, look, you can have fun with the Final Fantasy game again. You've not played 14, because I think that one, or 13 was the bad one. I get confused. I've never played any of those games. But what has happened is there's been a disconnect between the Final Fantasy fans and some of the more recent games, and that is the way the Final Fantasy VII remaster, although it will make a lot of money, more importantly, it will piggyback the franchise into the new game, as it is with Halo 5 Guardians. The Halo remaster, they want to bring back old fans that have nostalgic feelings and love for the game, come back, play Halo 1 and 2, fall in love with Halo again, and get Guardians, whereas otherwise you would not have even maybe bought an Xbox One. You're not even a gamer anymore. But we know you love Halo 1, we know you love Halo 2, and even though you haven't bought a next-gen console yet, that's what we want you to do. That is the same thing that Arkham is doing, and we can go all the way down the line to Uncharted. The Uncharted remaster, once again, was created for the sole purpose to build up hype for Thieves Among Us, which Uncharted 4, I think it's the fourth one. So that's what that is for as well. You can go all the way down the line, and certainly you can nitpick minor examples where the remaster is just purely fan service. But these remasters, contrary to popular belief, they are not just cash printing, easy to make kind of things. Sure, the game's there, they've got the boss fights, but it's not like they can just right click, copy, paste the code from PS3 to PS4. It's a little more involved than that. And they're going to improve graphics and rendering, and I'm sure they're going to copy some features from the new Arkham games into the old ones. Maybe they'll be able to allow you to skins, for example, to render in the game, like with Arkham Knight. For example, if you put on, the Justice League skin, for example, the JLA 3000, then that will actually render inside of the game. Whereas with Asylum City, the cutscenes actually play with the Asylum City batsuit no matter what. Maybe they'll change that. That was a feature they had in Arkham Knight. These things, it's not just like, a WB exec is like, let's just make a lot of money and just resell the old Arkham game. There is a bigger picture with the remaster. Not only do I think that there's going to be one more game with Uncharted, they have one more game after the remaster. I think it's going to be something much more like we see with a Halo remaster, where they're actually trying to extend us and kickstart us further and beyond this next Arkham game, and maybe into another trilogy, a second trilogy of Arkham games. We saw Rocksteady tease that they're not done with Batman yet.
So Sefton, are you saying categorically that this is the end of the road for Rocksteady and Batman?
Well,
this has been a long-running rumor that WB Montreal is making a Batman game. Rocksteady, I don't know if they're making a Batman game or not. I think either Rocksteady or WB Montreal is, without question. One of them is. And not just a Batman game, by the way, an Arkham game. And the Arkham Remaster proves to us only that there is more insight for the live-action Arkham games that we know and love. So that's my analysis. I hope that I provided a different way for you to look at it, that, this Arkham Remaster, it has a bigger picture in mind, and we can go all the way down through all of the game franchises, whether it be Uncharted and all the way down to Halo and all those kind of things, that there's always a bigger picture in mind, and that we should consider that if we think that the Arkham franchise is just totally done and there's going to be no more Batman games, because they are very profitable and the fans love it. So it's a win-win there. So anyway, guys, hope you all have enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. My name's Slikmof. We'll see you in the next one.